I want to ask Stav a question from his shower incident, yeah? Does she have the right to be upset with you because you went and got an external somebody to go and get...
She can be upset I took so long.
But she can't be upset that you did the thing that you said that she can't do. Even though she was right to go and get somebody, she would have been right to go and get somebody else to do it.
She would not have been right.
What? But you can't fix it.
That's not the reason. No. It's not about whether you can or can't do
So
something.
this is a pure ego thing.
Life is ego, fam.
So if she asked you, did she have to ask your permission now?
I'm gonna get out the t-shirt.
That is a t-shirt. I was about to say that's a t-shirt
for real.
Life is ego, fam.
If you'd have seen the light bulb that just came up and Simple Simon said, it was like, oh my God, yes.
You know what's the intro already now, innit? But anyway.
Yo. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, rodents and other small insects. Welcome to Eloquently Saying Nothing. This is episode number 14 of season 2. I'm Stavros Boss. Nice to meet you. Who else we got in the room?
Wallows in the building, people. What's good?
This is Mr. Wolf in the house. Good to be here as per usual.
Yo. Simple Simon's in the building. You heard?
Knew a girl named Nikki, I guess you could call her a sex fiend. Met her in the hotel lobby, she was masturbating with a magazine. She asked me how would I like to spend a little time, and I couldn't resist when I saw little Nikki grind. What's going on? Episode 14. Shit.
Prince,
Under her skirt is clean. It's your boy, Webbs. Yeah.
What act of pornography was that, bro?
That was Prince, Little Nicky.
Oh.
I would have picked a more different Prince, though.
A more different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pick more live.
A more different Prince.
Pick more live.
That is one of Prince's best songs.
It's something. So what is it today? Anniversary of Prince something? Because I keep seeing people posting stuff up. Is it one of his albums or something?
Yes.
Which one?
I think it's anniversary of Purple Rain.
Purple Rain. Purple Rain. Big tune.
Okay. Neither of you can sing, by the way.
I don't care.
I just want you both to know that.
I'm still going to go solo.
Webbs,
Yes, Mr. Wolf.
I'm looking at these tattoos that you got on your forearm.
Yes.
Are they new or what's going on, man?
They are not new.
Can you talk about it?
No.
You bastard, you.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to know about my tattoos.
Tattoos they can't see.
They look like some hieroglyphics things.
That's exactly what they are.
They are Sanskrit.
Okay, good for you.
Now, ask him if he's got any Yoruba on his body.
Yes.
Where?
And his shoulder or something, innit?
Why does Wahala know this?
Because I asked him the other day when I saw the hieroglyphics, I said, do you have any Yoruba on your leg or your feet? Because I was cussing. And he told me what he did, and then he showed me what the words were.
And you know what? Let's talk about tattoos, because 2 people here have tattoos. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Nothing.
Oh, good. All right, 2 people here have tattoos.
Bitch.
I believe. Mr. Wolf, a.k.a. the Iceman.
AKA.
And
Under the dog.
Under the dog.
Underdog.
Under the dog.
AKA.
Simple Simon.
Would call off the dog.
Hold on, have we even done all the intros?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was he chose. Come on.
Oh wow. Okay, Simple Simon, would you get tattooed?
No, I wouldn't.
Why not? What reason?
I don't know. I'm quite funny about them kind of things. I don't see what it is I could get that would still mean the same thing to me in 10 years' time that it means to me now. I think these tattoos and stuff tend to be quite spur of the moment a lot of the time, ideas, and at some point in their life, people normally regret them, even if they do it silently. I don't know why, but that's how I feel about it. So no, my skin is clean.
Well, would you get a tattoo?
No.
Why not?
I don't understand the purpose of them. I don't see the point of them. So no. If I was going to get a tattoo, I'd rather get the tribal mark that we were saying that we wouldn't get than the tattoo.
I've got to be honest. That was part of the reason why I didn't get a tattoo. Sorry, Simple Simon's reason. That's part of the reason why I didn't get a tattoo early on in my years.
And then what happened?
Midlife crisis.
Nah, I mean, I always wanted to get something that meant something to me. You know, something that in 10 years that I could look at and still feel comfortable with it. I remember years ago when the ESN debate page was going on Facebook, and they were talking about tattoos on the back. And every person that kind of made fun of the ideas of a tattoo on the back, I agreed with it. I've actually got a tattoo on my back. And I wish that tattoo was somewhere else.
I was gonna ask the tattooed fellas if you regret anything about your tattoo. So your tattoo on the back there, what happened? Why?
I had it done in Mexico with my ex. We went to Mexico, and it was kind of.
So that was a spare the moment thing then?
No, because
well, you didn't plan to do it over there, did you?
We didn't plan to do it there, or I didn't plan to do it there.
I love you, you love me. Let's put tattoos together.
Under the door.
No. I always wanted to get that particular tattoo.
What is it?
It's a crucifix with the word faith underneath it, and I've got a lot of faith. That's my thing. I've got a lot of faith in God and things
Why
like
is
that.
it on your back?
Well, that's the
where
thing.
the slave master used to whip them to make sure
that's
they
what
go
I'm
to
saying.
Christianity.
I mean,
So that the devil cannot get you from behind.
that's my regret is the fact that it is there, not the fact that I've got it.
When you are in the presence of a demonic attack.
Oh, come on, shut up your mouth there. I've got 2 other tattoos.
Which are?
Hold on, before you talk about the other 2, where would you replace that tattoo? Where would you move it to?
Your forehead.
Probably my arm.
Okay, cool. So continue with your other 2.
I've got 2 other tattoos on my tricep. That's my tricep, the back of my arm. And they are the meanings of my children's name, not the actual name themselves. It's the meaning of their name. And it is at the bottom of each tattoo, or each meaning of the name, there is a Yoruba saying at the bottom of each of them. One translating to my first child, the other one relating to my first girl.
Is it written in Yoruba?
Of course.
Okay.
Web, do you want to talk about your tattoos?
Sort of. When you said, do you ever regret getting tattoos? I did have this discussion with my lady friend, and if I could take them back.
My lady friend.
Continue. Don't forget him.
He sounded like one old man. My lady friend.
Yes.
Well, I went to the bar with my lady friend.
I was talking to Gertrude, and
With my lady friend, and we got some saltfish fritters.
we had some peppermint schnapps. Yeah, I'd take them back and not have them.
All of them.
All of them.
Wow. Go on,
Is
why?
that on the basis of what your missus said?
No, it was on the basis of now tattoos are becoming so saturated and losing their initial meanings. People just getting it for the sake of getting it.
Like podcasts. Continue.
Like podcasts. And
like that.
there are very few, apart from obviously the gentlemen in the room that don't have podcasts, that don't have tattoos, sorry, that are clean and untouched.
What do you mean by clean and untouched?
He means
untouched.
cleaner. Every day we clean. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Basically, you're saying that we don't have
No tattoos.
I was
no
about to say
piercings,
podcast as well.
no
we have no
markings.
tattoos, and a lot of the people in the world now have tattoos.
Yeah.
So we're now becoming the ones that are
We're the minority.
Are the
basically
rarities, yeah.
the rarities, which
That's
I don't
fair
think
enough.
is true. I think there's more people that have,
When you are
don't
going
have
to
tattoos than do. But what I want to ask you, Webs, and this is to be honest, it annoys me what you just said a little bit. Because you've got these tattoos because you want them, and it means something to you.
Yeah.
So what if other people?
That's
got
what I was
tattoos?
about to say. I
No,
don't
nothing to do
give a
with
rat's
you.
ass about
It
it.
This is
was-
Webslinger. Webslinger don't give a shit about what everybody else is doing.
No,
do what you're doing, innit?
I'm not saying it in that respect. I'm saying it in if I would like to just be clean now. I'm not regretting the tattoos I've got, and I plan to get more tattoos. I'm not regretting it at all. But I'm like, if I could go back, I'd go back.
You can get laser treatment, you know that.
I'm not doing that.
No, that's no sense.
That's worse. That's stupid.
Is it? I've seen people with it and they
Yeah.
look normal.
Nah, not for me.
Well,
Not
I
on
don't
black
regret none of
skin.
it, mate, and I probably would.
I don't
get
regret
one
them.
or
I don't
two.
regret them at all, but I'll get more.
I heard it's very addictive. When you get one, you just seem to have to keep getting it and getting
I think
it.
it's a barrier
It's
you kind of
very
break, innit?
Mm.
It's like, I don't know if there's a number that you have to get and then stop, or you go all the way, or you just get, because no one really ever just gets one.
There is no number, is it? You know?
There isn't a number, but there isn't a stop limit either.
Yeah, it's not really with people that's got one tattoo. If you start getting one, you get another, or you add to the one that you've got. That's what I tend to see people doing. I just don't get why people want to mark themselves in that level. I understand. Like, I hate henna as well. That's another thing I hate. Even I just hate henna.
Henna tattoos or just henna in
Those
general?
ones
henna.
can come off.
The ones on the hat, I can't stand them. Like, why are you marking yourself? I can't stand it. Let me give you a story. My fiance, when we were getting engaged, obviously she didn't know if we was getting engaged, and I said to her, "Let's go and have a
Surprise!
a photo shoot." Because it's my birthday, I said, "Let's go and have a photo shoot." Because it's my birthday, and Nigerians, what we do is that we dress the same in the same clothes when we're going to parties and blah blah blah. So I said, we're gonna all go to dinner. Everybody's going to dinner on my birthday, blah blah blah. But I want us to go and have photos together because we don't have photos together. And we'll wear our native clothes and we'll go take photos. So she was excited. She was like, "Oh, you never really want to do those types of things." So it was nice. But then what she went to go and do is she went to go and get henna.
Oh, Wahala, you're being nice for once.
Yes,
Yay!
exactly. She went to go and get henna.
Don't get used to it, love.
I was so vexed. I was like, "Whoa, this bloody henna!" Because I hate it. I was like, "Wait," and especially now, I'm gonna be putting obviously an engagement ring on her hand, and all of the pictures are just gonna have her hands with henna on it. And I was like, "Oh God!" So she got the henna anyway. So I had to take the pictures with the henna on there, but it just annoyed the hell out of me that there was henna. I just cannot stand henna. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm a racialist. I just can't stand the henna.
I remember back in the day, as in the early teens, when people got tattoos, and the tattoo was either of a dragon for some godly reason, who knows why, a dragon or a lion or something like that, or Psalm 23.
Yeah, Psalm 23 or a crucifix.
Which one is Psalm 23 now?
Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall.
What does that signify then, anyways?
Well, Psalm 23. It basically signifies it tells God to protect you, and that you have knowledge that He would always be there for you.
It's a protection spell.
Yes.
Okay. Well, what I see is a lot of this Chinese thing.
Yeah,
the Chinese that nobody even knows what
Blacks
they're
with
doing.
Chinese writing.
Yeah, Chinese writing and all of that
Fully
stuff.
annoying, man. It's like you got your own language, man. Put something on there
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, this is for Africans that have a language, Sorry about you, Caribbeans.
Ako be
But
or more
They
me.
can put Creole. Some of them can put Creole.
Even that's from somewhere else, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what they speak in their country.
My one says Ako be or more me.
You know what? Talking about children's names, because you said you had your children's name tattooed on and the meaning.
Mm-hmm.
I was at work the other day and somebody asked me, where are you from? Told them I'm Nigerian. They said, "Oh, okay, I'm Nigerian too. You got children?" I said, "Yeah, what's your children's name?" I told her my child's name. And she said, "Oh, what's the situation with her birth? How was she born? Like, because my child's name
Okay.
relates to the situation that she was born in. It's like, it means being born with a story. That's a description I'm going to give, even though it's not exactly like that, but that's the description. Born with a story. So straight away when I said my name, she said, "Oh, so what was the story behind her birth?" And then obviously I told her about the situation, and it just hit me that, wow, this name has the power that straight away somebody knows.
Was this person Nigerian?
Yeah. That's why
This is why I get annoyed when people just pick random names for their children. It annoys me so much. Like, you just pick a random name and say, "Yes, I'm going to name my child that." It means nothing.
Same
Chalani.
Same kind of thing happened with me because my daughter's name means father's daughter, and when the family members said, "Oh, well, what name did you decide to go with?" When I told them, they were like, "Oh, looked at her and looked at me and, okay, I can understand why you said it. She does look like you."
Yes. The spitting image of Simple Simon is his child. And
So
it's
her
a girl.
name-
She's changing now, though. She's starting to look a little bit more like the mum.
Her name is apt, or it was at least.
No, she still looks like you.
We've
The
got
whole-
we've got
the whole
photographic
top half.
photographic evidence of it, so I'm happy. I'm alright.
The whole top half is Simple Simon, but the bottom half is starting to look a bit like the mum. That's the bottom half. But when you see that child and you see the dad, you know that's his child straight away.
Well,
That's it.
same thing's happening with mine as well, with Stavros' child. I think she pretty much, everyone said she
She
looked
looks
like
like
me.
you, man.
Everyone,
Standard.
but they're saying that she looks more like her mum now.
Yeah, she's starting to look like mum, but she still looks like you. She still looks like you.
Well, Simple Simon's one still looks like him.
Yeah, but you and the mum look similar anyway.
Yeah, can
But
you imagine?
I don't know, man.
Boys normally look like their mums and girls look like their dads.
Do any of your children
Most
look like you?
My goodness, my son looks exactly like me, and my daughter is.
I don't think they look exactly like you. I think they both look like their mum.
Well, most people say they both look like me.
Nah.
And when you look at photographs of me at that age, you can't tell us apart.
Your daughter definitely looks like her mom.
How important is it for your child to look like you?
I don't really care.
Oh, it's really important.
I
It's exceptionally important, my friend. It is. It's exceptionally important. Do you know why? Because you have to, as a parent, a father especially, you have to be the recipient of years of disrespect at some point in life. So that child better have something of yours. They better have it because you're paying to keep that one alive.
But
they need it.
Even with looks, sometimes if they don't have your looks, they'll have your mannerisms, the way you walk, the way you talk, your personality and certain aspects. I've got a birthmark. Well, I wouldn't call it a birthmark. Some kind of a beauty spot on on the top of my left.
I would suggest you call it a birthmark.
Well, it's some kind of black spot that's been there all my life, right here.
Steph.
And my son. That's horrible. Black stuff. And my son's got one on the opposite hand in exactly the same place. And we've both got dislocated thumbs, which is weird.
Look, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, my family's got there's a family trait that runs through the generations. It's a very specific thing. I'm not going to mention exactly what it is, but it was a big.
Why?
Because it was a big problem. Remember, we had this conversation before. It was a big problem we talked about. You asked me,
okay.
Does she have it? And then it turned out that she doesn't have it. But because the face looks so much like my face, I'm not doing paternity tests, innit? That's it.
It was because of the dislocated thumb that I said yes. The little brother is mine.
So you had the paternity thing as well.
I was thinking about children today,
Not because of anything about to do with the woman, by the way. I'm just saying, man's paranoid.
This is mine, innit? This is mine.
Disclaimer. There's one thing I was thinking about with children today, and I don't know why it came up to my head. And I just know that God's going to give me this type of child when I do have a child. You know the child that when you eat, comes up to you and just stares at you throughout the whole of the meal?
Yes.
I cannot stand
That's
that
my
child,
daughter, man.
I cannot stand. No, keep your daughter away from me, nigga. I cannot stand that child.
When you say stare, you mean like they want some of your food?
They want the whole food.
That's my daughter.
They come and stand next to you,
sure.
That's
and they just, it's like they learn from the woman already, from the woman that you're, because your woman always takes all your food.
No, not around there.
No,
bro.
that's all right. Most women take men's food because apparently it tastes nicer. I just hate it when you have the child, man. I think I'm trying to think of.
I'm territorial with the plate, bro.
Yeah, so am I. But
if you come in there and you take something off my plate, and you're like, I just wanted to taste it. I'll tell you to take the whole plate.
Yeah, to take the whole thing, man.
Yeah, I'm like.
And I'll buy myself another one.
like that.
This is something that's to be bought.
I'm like that.
But
childish, but still what?
I don't like.
Hashtag Team Petty.
I don't like it when a child
like
just walks
that.
up to you and just stands there and just starts looking at you while you're eating your food. Like,
Yeah,
why are
it's
you
my
doing that?
daughter.
You know what? When Wahala says certain things about what he doesn't like with children,
He's going
and
to get that.
It's not because
yeah,
he's going to get. Every child does that. So
Yeah,
it's
it's true.
It's not like 1 in 3 children do it. Every child
You're gonna
does
get
it.
that
So of
word.
course your child
Every
is gonna
child
do
does it. But they come and they stand, they put their hand on your leg
Yeah.
and they look at you like
Yeah.
right in your eye.
that. Oh, my daughter before she licks her lips as well. Seriously, it's like, and that's the only time she ever does it. Not when it's her own food, only when it's your food. So it's almost like she's telling you, I want your food. Because she'll come up to you like you said,
What kind of craven children
call up
is
to
this
you
though, man?
and lick her lips.
Listen, put it this way: if I tried to eat at the same time as my daughter on purpose, like deliberately, and if her plate and my plate are there at the same time, she'll come to eat something off of my plate before she even troubles her own plate. It's I call her HMRC. That woman is
Taxation.
that's what she is.
Straight taxation.
She is customs and revenue, bro. Any food that touches my plate, that one has to eat it first. And she's getting bad with it now because she comes over and tells you which piece she wants to.
That's it.
Not that bit. Not that bit.
Yeah, no, she
This
does.
bit.
Yeah,
This
she points at it.
Send it to her mother, man.
I want that one. Like,
It's
no,
not-
you can't have that. I haven't even eaten it yet. Daddy, I want that one.
Daddy.
That one. And the more you talk about it, the more it becomes a problem.
My
I tried to give her
daughter
rice.
I'm
She's
gonna-
like, no, Daddy, I
I'm gonna
want
be
that
one of them
one.
husbands that blame the wife. It's your daughter that's doing this.
Daddy.
Your son that's done that.
It's 70-30 in my favor.
like my daughter, well, my kids started on pounded yam very early. I'd say before they were 1, my mum made it very soft, very fine, their grandma. And then they started to eat some.
That was one of my child's first meals.
Yeah.
That was my daughter's.
Months.
That was my daughter's first
Yeah,
solid
some
meal.
rice, but still.
Yeah, it was before they were
It was
1.
the first solid meal, and they used it as a sedative.
Yeah, well, there you go. And she would fall asleep as well, innit? That's what I'm saying.
Deliberately, I made it slightly heavy. I made it slightly heavy. I'm out of order. I made it slightly
That
heavy.
nappy the next day
And
was
the way how my daughter eats meat now, like I can eat my chicken and there'll be meat left. My daughter will destroy the bone all the way down to the bone marrow,
Good girl.
properly like her grandma, her granddad, and all the great grandparents back home. She will finish every flesh that is on that bone, and even bite that bone.
It's true. No, it's true.
I did that today at work.
And they look at you like, oh,
I have no shame. I had the one chicken bone. Because they were like small chicken wing bones as well. So it was like a small one. So I dashed away about all the rest of them and kept one. And I just had it in my mouth like it was a chewing gum.
like it's a chewing stick in it.
I said, am I supposed to be doing this in the office? That's what I was thinking about. I said, fuck it, gotta do it.
This is clearly the child's episode because I've got something I wanted to bring to the table. I haven't told you guys about it yet. So I've been looking for nursery or me and my wife been looking for nursery for our child. I'll just do it quickly. And so what I did was I went to the Ofcom website and I looked for all the ones that are the top tier nurseries
In your area.
in my area and the area where my wife works. And for whatever, there's not many. So for whatever reason, we were knocking. This one's a bit too far. This one's not going to be easy to get to. Blah blah blah. And we got down to one of the ones that was there. And what had happened is this. It was a Spanish stroke Mandarin school for children.
Huh?
Well, basically, what's happened? You find a lot of the ones that are in top tier. Actually, the mothers have started them at some point for their own children.
Yep.
And this mother was Spanish, and she said, "I started one because I wanted my child to speak Spanish, and she couldn't find one, so she started one that spoke Spanish. Along the lines, it's grown bigger. Obviously, she's pulled people in, and then somehow, some way, some shape or form, she's incorporated Mandarin as well now. So she's got Mandarin teachers. So it's a trilingual school where they speak English, Spanish, and Mandarin. So obviously, it's going to be a multitude of Spanish and Chinese children. But with that kind of thing, what you're saying is that you're teaching the children in 3 different languages. Like the chef, because I went on their website looking at the videos, the chef is talking in Spanish. He gave the interview in Spanish. He didn't even talk in English. And my wife said straight away, "Nah, we're not sending them there." Now, I said, why? It's like, because why do I want them speaking Spanish? I was like, oh. The thing is, I'm Nigerian. I have my own language. She's Ghanaian. She has her own language. And obviously the child is brought up in England, so they're going to speak English. And her reasoning, and mine as well, I guess, is that they have 3 languages here that they should be learning before we start sending them out to learn Spanish and Mandarin. Now, if you guys were in this situation, forget having more than, it's going to be at least 2 languages, your native one and English. Would you be prepared to send your child to this kind of school? Because there are no Yoruba nurseries that I know of, not ones on the Ofcom register.
There ain't none.
Well, you've looked.
No, but I will say so.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. But what would you do in this situation? Would you say, "No, I'm not sending them"? Even though obviously it's graded high. That's why I saw it in the first place.
I can understand why both of you have said that you wouldn't allow your daughter to go there, because, like you said, there's 2 other languages to learn prior to anything else, and that should be, in my opinion, should be fundamental. That she learns Yoruba first, and then Twi, or I'm not sure what language. Fanti. Okay, sorry. And she learns Fanti.
Did you hear that little laugh? Sorry, it doesn't make a difference.
I don't care. She must learn Yoruba first. But on the flip side, we're talking about children from the age of what age? From like
3 months.
3 months
to 3 years, I think.
So now let's imagine after 4 years of your
5 years?
child being there before they go into preschool, and she's fluent in Spanish and Mandarin. That's a big deal. It's a very big deal.
Let me say something. And the reason why I'm stopping you where you are is because my Yoruba teacher always used to say something. So he's a Yoruba teacher, and he's also, I think, a maths teacher, and I think maybe he does a science, but I can't remember. And he's very adamant about the fact that the first like 4 years is the most important years when it comes to teaching your child language. Yeah, like the most important. I don't want my child to learn another language that is not my language in those first 4 years. Like there's a Yoruba saying, and I wish I could say it in Yoruba the proverb, but basically it translates saying that the mother is the first teacher of the child, and that's why. And you always used to say that's why it's important that you marry a Yoruba woman. Sorry, Steph. And because they're the ones that's gonna teach your child, not you as the man. The woman will be the first teacher for that child, and whatever language that child speaks is what whatever language the woman speaks is what that child is gonna speak first.
Shit.
Right? And well, but and he
wasn't Steph, by the way.
That was simple because he's gonna have a Yoruba child. But anyway,
not going to.
Yes, we thank God. But
already
he always used to bring up one of his family members. He used to talk about one of his family members is married to a Russian woman, I think it was, and he was always going on about the fact that child is just going to speak Russian, and the dad don't speak Russian, so the mum will speak Russian, the child will speak Russian. He can't understand what both of them are saying, and he's going to be in the house. They're going to be talking, and you're not going to understand what they're saying. Well, Hala might have that same problem because I don't really speak Yoruba, but I'm now picking because I'm doing lessons. I understand it a lot more. But my fiance speaks Yoruba, and I want my child to speak Yoruba. And one of the major things I want to do is if my missus is not going to take care of her to a certain years or whatever, I want her to go to her grandparent, either her mum or my mum, so they can look after them and teach that child Yoruba, because that's what they're going to speak.
Can I just? Did you all notice that he said her as in his daughter?
It's coming. I know it's happening to me. But anyway. You can't wish for something so much not to happen, and it has to happen. But yeah, the child, I want him to speak Yoruba. So I want him to, go to their grandparents because I know that my fiance's grandparent is obviously good at doing this because my fiance speaks Yoruba, and so does her brothers. So I want that child to learn Yoruba in those first 4 years, those initial 4 years that you spoke about, which will be good for them to learn Mandarin and Spanish. I don't give a shit about Mandarin and Spanish. I don't give a shit about my language. And as Africans, we're too quick to dash our language. You don't see Asians dashing their language. The whole reason why this Spanish woman has gone to go and do a Spanish school is because she doesn't want to dash her language. Mm-hmm. Mandarin is obviously Chinese is Mandarin, isn't it? You don't hear most Chinese people know how to speak their language. English obviously all know how to speak English. Why is it that African countries tend to be so fast to dash our language away to others? So quick.
Whoops.
Same reason we're Christian.
I didn't dash anything anyway.
I'm asking you to give us your take on this thing.
Yeah, I co-sign everybody.
I was just about to say, today will be nice.
No, if I'm blessed with a child, my child is going to learn Yoruba. No matter what nationality my wife will be.
Are you sure about that?
Hell to the yes.
Okay, so can you speak Yoruba?
I understand more than I can speak.
So then who's going to teach the child Yoruba?
My mother.
So that means your child has to be around your mother much more than she's around. Oh, I keep saying she's like we're all having daughters. Like,
it's true.
Much more, because everybody's got daughters, isn't it?
We might as well have girls. Let them run together.
Much more than their own mother. Because let's say that you're with the woman that you are with now. She speaks the language, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So do you think that
what language is it?
Xhosa.
Swahili?
No, it is Xhosa.
Go on.
So yeah. So do you not think that she's gonna want to teach the child her language, and that's gonna be her primary language?
It will be, but I don't want that to happen. I don't want it to be primary. I'd rather it be secondary.
Wow.
It doesn't have to be primary or secondary. They can just speak 3 languages.
They can speak 3 languages, but Yoruba would be the first.
Okay.
I don't think that would happen.
I would,
even if it means I start learning Yoruba from when my child is born.
It is not an easy language to learn.
I know it's not easy language
right
to
now.
learn.
It is not easy.
That's why they give up on it. They pick the easy language.
If you're born from the beginning speaking Yoruba, then it's easy for you. Mm-hmm. English is the easiest language to learn. They say, obviously, isn't it?
No,
they always say English is the easiest language to learn.
No, everybody who I've spoken
you sound
to,
like Consella.
No. It's Spanish and French.
Everybody who I've spoken to that has to learn English from either Spanish, French, German, Dutch, Russian, every single person, they all say the same thing, that English is so difficult to learn because they don't have some of the rules that all of those other languages have in common. They don't have gender specific what's it called, naming schemes. They don't have, like, English doesn't have gender specific naming schemes. The ownership of something in English doesn't transfer directly into Spanish.
But a lot of African countries don't have gender specific names. In fact, a lot of African, well, definitely Europe, but doesn't even have gender specific.
He's talking about European people from European countries.
Well, there's more languages in Africa than there is in Europe.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is, of the languages that
are easy to learn.
Yeah, all the people that have to learn English, they all say English is harder to learn.
Yeah, but for me, a lot of Africans who's got more languages than the Europeans, which you're referring to, still manage to learn how to speak English.
I'm not saying that these people don't manage to learn how to speak
and they
English.
Find it easy.
You said no, they don't find it easy.
I'm telling you, they told me they find it easy.
Who? The people that speak the other language?
Yeah.
Okay.
They tell me that it's finding it easy because it's easy to learn English. If the same thing we're saying with the rules, I get what you're saying.
If you're talking about easy in the sense of the availability of teaching classes or what have you, or resources, then yes, English is easier to learn because there's just so many different resources and things available to learn. But if you're talking about the actual craft of English, it's very difficult.
I'm talking about just being able to communicate with an English person.
I've been working with people that for the last 2 years or what have you, who've been taking English lessons for the last 2 years, trying to make English their second language. And although I can have a conversation with them and I feel happy happily understand most of what they mean, in reality, because I have a ethnic minority or foreigner dictionary in my brain, when a foreigner starts speaking, I automatically, especially if I know some of the rules of their language, I automatically translate what they're saying very differently to what it is they're actually saying.
I think that most people, if somebody speaks English roughly, can understand it. I don't think you can do it the other way around with most languages.
I think you got a point there, actually.
No,
because sorry, simple. With Yoruba, especially, there's a lot of tones.
Hey, my God.
You know, and just put it this way: there's a word or a spelling in Yoruba, EWA. Yeah, Ewa. It could mean 4 or 5 different things. It could mean 10 beans, beauty, come, and there's another one. So, as in come here.
Oh, okay.
Come hither.
So there's Ewa. You know, and I even confuse myself when I'm trying to get my head around that, because I can understand Yoruba, but not as much as I would like to. I don't speak it as much as I would like to either. But I think from what I've been told, Yoruba, because of the tones, and Mandarin are probably the most hardest languages to learn in the world. Those 2 languages. But I can understand what Simple Simon is saying with reference to learning English because of the rules that I think it's more European languages have. I think Europeans find it more difficult to learn English than maybe someone from Africa.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
Yes.
Because Africans you've been told to speak English and shut up there and do as you're told.
Anyways. Or Spanish.
Or French.
Indeed.
Parlez-vous français?
Portuguese, Angola.
Yes. Question. This Rio Ferdinand program about whatever, I didn't watch it.
About whatever.
I can't even remember. Mr. Wolf, can you spit it out? You wanted to talk on this, please.
Okay. Mr. Rio Ferdinand is, for those that don't know, the people that they're listening to us worldwide, he's a professional football player.
Soccer.
Ex-professional
football who retired, I think, about 18 months ago, maybe up to 2 years. International, played for Manchester United in England. And his wife passed away when she was 36 years old, and she left 3 children behind. She died of cancer, and the cancer took over her body very, very quickly the second time around. I think she died within a month.
It was very rapid.
Of the second time coming. And he done a documentary just the other day, and it was called Being Mum and Dad. And I just found it quite touching, because this is a subject that I think maybe African parents, perhaps.
What is the subject?
For me, the subject is speaking about death. First of all, parents, like my parents, for example, I have only started to recently have that kind of conversation with them. You know, what will happen, or where do you want to get buried, and things like that. And also,
it's a weird conversation, isn't it?
It's one that they think that if you talk about it, then it's going to happen. Don't talk about it. You know, it's like you're bringing bad vibes to the family. And then the other subject I want to touch on is children who have a parent pass and the effect that it has on them. She left 3 children, and I want to know what we think with reference to children who have to deal with a single parent. And in his case, he is a man and he is a single parent. You don't really see or speak or hear much of male single fathers. Boom, bad man thing.
I was gonna say, we'll start something sharp. I was gonna say, the thing with what you're saying about your parents is Africans do not like speaking things into existence, and that was probably the big problem. They're saying that you don't say this, don't say that. It's because they don't want to speak things into existence. Regarding the questions that you're talking about, I don't know, man. I don't know. I talk about death to my parents, but it's very jokingly at times. Like, we'll tell my dad, when you leave, nobody's going to carry all your shit that you still left in this house. Get rid of it, type thing. We don't really, we don't really talk about death. But when we talked about him being old and stuff like that, I've seen him. He doesn't feel at ease with it. It's not something he wants to talk about. And I've noticed, because we've had some bereavements last year. I was quite close to our family, and I think it hit my dad a lot more than we probably noticed, like,
or expected.
Yeah, or expected, because they're around his age or even younger, and he's like, how can this person be dying and I'm still like around? It affected him in a way that he's thinking maybe about his mortality a bit more. And a couple of years ago, he had a stroke as well, which didn't help. So I think these are all things that has made him think a bit more about his morality, but it's not something that we discuss openly in the house about what he wants to do when he dies. I know I keep talking about my dad, like my mum's not there as well, but I don't know, because my dad's older than my mum. Even if it's only 1 year, he's still older. So I suppose we just automatically assume that the older person's going to go first. We haven't really discussed it. I definitely haven't discussed it with my mum in any way, shape or form, which is weird because my mum's had more medical problems than my dad probably has. But we've never really discussed it with my mum. But my dad, you probably think a bit more. I think maybe the stroke made us think a lot more about his morality. And I've noticed that he thinks a lot more about it. But
mortality.
Yes. Mortality. But anyway, so yeah, he thinks a bit more about it. I think. With regards to the single parent thing, I've watched the program. The rest of the guys haven't, so only me and Mr. Wolf have seen the program. And when I watched it, it reminded me of a few things. So the first thing it reminded me of is my brother's children, because my brother passed away 17 years ago now and left 3 children behind, same like Rio.
Similar.
So I never really spoke to any of these children in great depth, especially when they were younger, about the effect that it happened on them when their dad died. And one of my nephews is 26 now, 25, 26. And I still haven't really spoken to him about the effect of how he is since his dad died. One thing I've noticed though is that I think him and his missus have shared that experience, because her father's passed as well, I think. And I think that allows them to have more of a conversation with each other. Something they can maybe relate to better. But I just haven't had a conversation about it at all. And I don't know, it's something I've thought about that maybe I should have spoken to him about. I think I spoke to his daughter a bit more than any of the rest of them. But I think that's because I'm just closer to his daughter in that respect than the boys are. Men don't chat about these things, isn't it?
And that's kind of like what Rio was saying, that when they spoke to him about his sons, that's when he kind of broke down, innit? you know, because he can't get anything out of them, or he finds it hard to draw any kind of emotion from them, and it reminds him of him, you know. And I think that we find that men have this kind of persona, or even young boys, you know.
Everyone's been told to stay tough, be tough
strong,
from early. So they're not necessarily looking to break down their emotions even from when they're 5 or 6, because the first thing you do when a boy bangs his leg is tell him, you know, get up, come on,
man up,
come on, walk forward. If a girl bangs her leg, you're there trying to wrap it up. Oh my God, my baby, my fairy, this, that, and other. Boy bangs his leg. You're just like, come on, Jibby, put a pass on that. Let's go. You know what I mean? It's not. You don't really think about it. You don't really think about it in that way. And I think it's the same way emotionally. Men don't find themselves at ease to have that emotional conversation with other men, whether it's your son, your nephew, or whatever. So yeah, that definitely came into my head. And
okay, if we wanted to talk to your nephew now, what would you say?
I'll probably ask him how he felt about the situation. How does he feel that it's affected him in his life? And whether or not he ever still thinks about it and it's something that he wants to talk about. It's mad because sometimes I look at him and I just see my brother. Like you spoke earlier about mannerisms. Was it you, Mr. Wood, that said that your child has mannerisms like
yeah.
He wears glasses. His dad wears glasses, right? The way that he puts his glasses back on his nose when it comes down is exactly the same way his dad used to do it. Like there's certain things I see him and I'm like, you look exactly like your dad. They're different shades, but the face, the mannerisms, the way he does things reminds me of his dad so bad. Like so bad. But he might not even know that because he was so young when his dad passed. But those things affect me more than anything else. Like I don't think about my brother. I don't really think about my brother at all. But when I see things like that, that's the only time it comes into my head. You look like your dad. So it's I don't know. It's one of those things. So that's one of the things that hits me. I'll let the other guys speak, and then after I'll talk about the other things that hit me with that program.
This is a weird one. I kind of had this conversation with my dad, but not about him, but about his mum, which was a bit weird. So my grandma, effectively, and we kind of had the conversation about that, because my grandma occupies a very pivotal space in the family.
Okay.
Like the way the family spans out is there are factions that are quite different. We've got a very religious faction, and then we've got the faction that's not very religious at all, and the numbers are almost equal in both courts. Do you know what I mean? And somehow, over years and years and years of melding, my grandma's managed to create an environment of safe sanctuary where we don't have religious conversations anymore, and we don't. You understand?
What's that country that they call it? The
Switzerland. Yeah. So she's managed to create that environment. Not entirely just her, but I think everybody's respect and adoration for her has allowed them to do that. And I had the conversation with my dad, and I was saying, well, basically, we're in a funny place now, because what happens to that truce when the person who's holding the truce together is no longer there? Do we have the maturity as a family to go forward in the spirit of that truce, or do our individual differences make it so that maybe we don't meet up every Sunday anymore, and maybe that every Sunday turns to every fortnight, and that every fortnight turns to once a month, and then once a month turns into once a blue moon kind of thing. So we had that conversation, and that kind of was the best way that I could have the conversation with him about the mortality of his parent.
But the morality.
The mortality of his parent.
It's not the morality then.
No, not the morality.
I just wanted somebody else to get it wrong.
You joker. But yeah, so that was how I had that conversation with him. I don't know if he realized I was also softening him up to the idea of the conversation with him, but he's been very blunt with it as well. He's already told me, like, oh yeah, whatever happens, this is where I want to be buried, and I don't give a shit what anybody else says. I'm saying it to you now, a sound of mind. I'm saying it to you now, sound of mind. This is where I want to be, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, you know, you can just write this stuff down, innit? And he's like, I'm telling you, innit? I'm telling you. So that if anyone tells you anything else, you know that it's, you know. I'm like, all right, I get it. No, but you have to do it, because I'll come back and haunt your blood. I was like, hey. I'm like, I thought we were related. He's like, no, this is not something to mess around with. So I know what his, you know what I'm saying, his thing is. My mum, I don't think my mum would ever have that conversation with me. I just think it's something she's not about. Not even out of superstition. She just wouldn't feel comfortable having that conversation.
All right, so let me give you another thing that I got from the program. Like, one of my best friends is a single father.
Okay.
But the mother's not dead.
My cousin is likewise. He's a single father to my second cousin, but I'll call him my nephew. And also one of my good friends is a single father. Big them up, both of them.
Do we big up single fathers more than we big up single mothers?
Blatantly.
And if so, why?
Do we big them up more?
Yes. I think that when you see a single father,
that was a damn near rhetorical
the
question.
whole point, the thing about the whole,
or maybe not often enough.
Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you saw a program about a woman that's had to live with her 2 children or 3 children after her husband died?
Not often.
Because it's not a big deal.
Because it is almost the norm.
Exactly. And that was one of the things that struck me about this situation. I thought to myself, when I watched that program, I was thinking, although these men might not be dead, they may as well be dead, because there's about a million women that's doing this every day with a man that could be living across the road from them.
No, they're bringing up children on their own. In that aspect, it's true. But in terms of the program, it was a bereavement, innit?
Yeah, but what I'm saying with regards to the child, they're still going to have as many questions as the child that's had a parent that's died. Where's my father? Why is he not with us? Why did he go?
What would you prefer? If you're going to raise children on your own, full stop. I mean, the family can help you and friends can help or whatever, but the other parent is not there. What would you prefer? That the parent just left you, or that the parent is dead?
I prefer that they just left me. Because they're
not coming back, by the way. They're not talking to you. They're not talking to your children. The children know they've been abandoned.
Okay, I mean,
like the children at some point get conscious.
Okay, so now you've put all these parameters.
No,
there.
because if you're dead, they're not talking to you. They're not seeing you. They're gone. They're out of your life. And I want it to be the situation where they're still in life, they're still living, but it's the same thing. They're not talking to you. They're not responding to you at all.
Fair enough. Then in that case, you would prefer that they're dead.
No,
reason being is because, yes, this is what I would prefer. Reason being for a child to have a knowledge and an understanding that a parent has basically dismissed them and decided to not be a part of their life. I think that will hurt and trouble the child more than a parent passing away. So
what Wahala's saying is that some of these men have left these children's life and then never to be seen again. So they have that added issue of, not only am I raising this child or these children by myself, but also the child has that thing on top of their heads where it feels like they potentially feel abandoned, and I have to deal with that part of the thing as well. So that's 2 issues instead of just one. Or, well, I guess if a parent dies, then that's a separate issue.
They also feel some children, when their parents die, feel abandoned as well. They have that sense of abandonment, even though it doesn't sound logical. They still have it. But I just think that it's different. When your parents died, you know they've died. You know you can't necessarily see them again and speak to them again because they've died. If you know your dad is out there,
or
mom, but I'm going with the dads at the moment. It's out there, and they just, they're somewhere. They're actually choosing not to speak to you. That's a massive blow, man. That's a massive, and a lot of these kids are going around having this sense of abandonment, and it's causing them to act out as well.
So, Wahala, what you're saying is that, because like you said, Stavros didn't watch the program, but a lot of people were saying it was gut-wrenching, soul twisting, tears in their eyes, and you watched the program and you thought, wow, this is sad, but why don't they show anything about this for women? Did you not have any sympathy for Rio? Is it just thinking this is everyday life for a lot of people? Why is it they've picked this person?
Empathy.
Is that your new thing?
That's the new thing.
I did feel sorry for him, and I understood why they did the program, because of the way that the mother died and the sudden death, and obviously the fact that she died from cancer is another big thing as well, because cancer is obviously killing millions of people out there, and this is probably something that happens quite a bit.
Cancer.
But yeah, as I said, a lot of things just came to my mind. It's just like, I get why everybody feels so sad for him. He was crying a lot during the show as well. You could see that he hadn't understood. He said it many times that I haven't dealt with my bereavement yet.
Yeah, I just unpacked it.
Yeah, I've just worked through it. And it's good to see the insight of somebody that's going through that, and they're taking the time out to, you know, express themselves in that way. And he's talked about how he was drinking quite heavily at the beginning. Then he looked at his kids and like, I can't drink anymore because I've got to look after them and stuff like that. So he's probably going through some form of, you know, I won't say depression, but he's going through some form of bereavement that he needs to deal with. But he doesn't feel like he can deal with it because he has to deal with his child. So all of that stuff is the things that comes on top that I felt sad for him. But then it did come into my head that this is, for one, I've never seen a program about this regarding women. And for two, what happens to all those single mothers that's out there that's having the same issue? They got to deal with it. Same thing with, instead of bereavement, they got to deal with the fact that the man's left them. And all of this stuff that you're going to give them the same mental issues that you might get from a loved one dying. You can still get that same problem. And I don't know, it just hit me that there's so many other avenues that we can discuss and we don't discuss. And this became like a massive thing because it was about a man. I said, if this program was about a woman, I just do not think it would get the same ratings.
Perhaps.
Okay, so that brings into question, Rio Ferdinand was a serial cheater on his wife, or with his wife, or to his wife, or whatever it is.
God damn.
And it was brought up actually that can you love somebody if you serially cheat on them?
Serially cheat.
Yes, if you're a serial cheater, so whatever the word is. If you
why not just repeatedly?
It's the same bloody thing.
Exactly.
instead of serially.
Okay.
Serial cheater, come on.
If you repeatedly cheat on a woman or a woman serially
Kellogg's,
I don't know.
Repeat offender.
Yeah,
Say that.
if a woman repeatedly cheats on a man, can you love somebody if you just cheat on them all the time?
I hate how these damn stories came out soon after the Rio Ferdinand's episode.
It didn't come out. It came out ages ago.
No, it is a story that came, I think it was 2010 or 2011. And then you just saw pure posts and tweets and all kinds of articles that pop up after the actual documentary, which I thought was
Did you?
Yes. All kinds of things came up, man. It was not. I think some people are just incessant haters, man.
No, I never saw the documentary, but you'd think that there's something
fishy. Man.
It's kind of natural that it would come about because it's like, okay, yeah, this happened to him, but you must bear in mind he's this kind of man. Almost like it was like good for you, you deserve it.
That's almost as if that's how it was perceived to me.
Are you sure it's good for you? You deserve it, or you're saying that you love your wife so much now, but when the wife was alive and with you,
at the point,
you was cheating on her several times?
So
it's because he's black.
I don't think it's because he's black at all.
It's because he's black.
Yeah, can you elaborate?
Why?
Because he's not the first serial cheater to have lost his wife in a situation like this.
And they discussed most other ones that do that as well.
I don't know if they do.
I think they would.
Nah.
I think they would.
No.
I don't know. I think I co-sign Simple Simon there, you know.
I think people just love to just dash things because people are black. He's half black, by the way.
He's black.
I don't think he's got anything to do with race.
If the police jumped into something and saw him, they would say he was black. So
I don't think this has got anything to do with race.
free mail.
I think there is. I think there is a slight taintedness about it because of his.
If I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen anybody discuss it at all in any way, shape, or form.
You don't have to discuss it.
I haven't seen it
kind of
posted.
in the air.
I haven't seen anybody say it online. I haven't
hold on
seen
a
it in
minute.
social media say it.
You man are fully murking the question though. Is anyone going to answer the question?
I know we are going to answer the question.
Oh,
we just
okay.
skipped it, didn't we? We went.
Oh,
around
sorry,
the
that
house.
was Mr. Wolf's fault.
Yeah, you murked the question. So
Mr. Wolf?
can you love somebody if you cheat on them?
Several times, not just the once. By the way.
Repeatedly,
Gaza, Simple
Serial.
Simon,
over and over and over again.
Simple Simon,
so.
I think you can. Simple Simon saying yes. Yes, you can. You can love somebody and still cheat on them. Yes, you can.
Several times.
Yes.
Because
What's love got to do with cheating?
what's love got to do with the bang?
Yeah, what's love got to do with that?
I don't. Mr. Wolf gave answer.
No, I'm just trying to remember. One of my boys posted that statement in a WhatsApp group, and I salute you.
Stavros
I found it
is
funny.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
What's love got to do with it?
Stavros is saying that you can love somebody and cheat on them every week with a different person.
Yes.
with a different whore or rent boy every week,
Fucking hell.
Or rent boy.
or whore and rent boy every week, and still love that person.
Explain then. Expand.
What about
There's
the
nothing
God?
to expand.
There is something to expand. You're saying that you've taken the. Okay, so we need to define what's love then, because I don't understand.
I don't think you can define love.
There is no definition
means
of love.
Let's
No,
not
but
go down the
love-
road of
love-
trying to define love.
Love means so many different things to different people, innit? So that's why you're saying let's kind of leave that there.
No, I'm not saying that, because the world had a million poets have tried to describe love in a million
And it
different
means that
ways.
so many different
And
things.
Can
that
I
and
bend
I-
the question?
No, don't bend the question. I wouldn't-
Answer it. Don't bend it.
I want to bend it, but Stav was talking. Sorry, we cut him off, and he's upset about that.
Just talk now, man. I've lost my train of thought now, innit?
I'm glad. So
No, there's no.
in fact,
there's no definition of love.
Yeah, man.
Go on, Stav.
No, well, go on. I want to hear what you were going to say.
okay, so then, do you think that you could serially cheat on a woman or a man and still respect that person?
Again, I still don't see.
Hang on. Respect the person that you're cheating on, or respect yourself, or respect the person that you're cheating with.
On.
Yeah.
Of course, you can respect them.
Well, there's different types of respect. Then there's different types of respect. So whereas if you're in love with the amorous kind of love, then that's it. If you love somebody that way, then you love someone. But what kind of respect are you talking about?
What type of respect there is? High level respect.
I think he
Middle
means,
respect.
No. What Hala
I
is
can
saying
respect a
is
person.
that
So
he's
when you say
saying
respect, do you mean Friday afternoon respect or Monday morning respect?
that he's saying that you know that your partner would not like what you're doing, but you're doing it anyway.
No, I'm saying you
basically,
can respect
17.5% APR respect.
you can respect somebody's art or their
But that's
a
the
good
kind
football
of respect
player.
that he's talking about.
Well, how do you respect your partner? In what way do you respect your partner?
But
I
by
can respect
trying
them.
to-
So they're a good
trying
cook,
to make
they're
them
a good
happy.
mother.
Is cheating on somebody disrespecting them?
But that's part of respect, isn't it?
Cheating on your partner is disrespect.
So then, can you respect the person that you're constantly disrespecting?
I don't know.
Can you love the person?
I'm
No,
more-
I'm talking about respect now,
To be
because
fair.
you've lot have decided that love don't mean
Oh
nothing,
no, hold on.
which I'll go
hold
back
on,
to anyway.
Hold on, Webbs, and you haven't answered the question.
I think you can. I think you could potentially love the person. I don't think that love is a strong love, though.
So
I think it's a weak ass, pussy ass love.
you can.
So the answer to the question is yes.
Yes.
I just said that, but I'm giving you what I believe that.
Okay,
that
that's
love.
cool.
But I could love the person. One of my mates.
We're talking about being in love with a woman or a man that you're falling in love with. If you're saying that yes, you can
Yeah.
still.
No,
be
then I'm not too sure. Then I think that you love the idea of that person and you love that person as a person. I don't think you're in love with them if you're cheating on them every week.
Okay,
That's
fine.
my personal opinion.
All right,
Tiger Woods.
and Webbs,
Who else was there?
can you be in love with somebody
Magic
that you're
Johnson.
cheating on weekly?
Magic Johnson.
Can you be in love with someone that you're cheating on weekly? I don't know. You can. You can. Yes, you can.
I mean, you just
The way he's
mentioned
looking, he doesn't even look like he looks like he's convincing himself.
Exactly. I think you can.
there's so many cases out there
I
where
know I can.
where you've heard celebrities cheat on their partners that they apparently love and they're married to, and they have, it's almost made their relationship stronger.
But it's all no. But you know what's like. Do you notice how it's?
He said it with a straight face as well.
Do you notice how it's
No,
always?
but do you know why? Because look at Magic Johnson.
No, but do you notice how it's always the first statement that comes out my mouth? I love my wife. I didn't mean to cheat. It was a moment of weakness, but I must say again, I love my wife.
But every
I
week,
didn't have sexual relations.
every week. Come on, man. Nah, I think you love
it's
the
like
idea of the
alcoholic kid,
person.
you fall off the wagon.
Nah, I think you love the idea of the person. I think you've got used to that woman, and you like the fact that she's around and she does things for you. I think that you're happy for her to be there, and all of that malarkey. But
I don't get your logic.
I don't think you're in love with her to the point where you're in love with her.
So are you compounding sex and love?
In what capacity?
Well, that's what you're effectively doing.
No, I'm asking you what capacity. So explain.
Are you compounding sex and
Yeah,
love?
you said the two words again. I'm asking you to expand on it.
Can you explain compounding to the gentleman, please?
I'm saying, are you making a direct relationship between sex and love.
No.
You must be.
No, I'm saying...
Because you're saying the two things can't exist separately.
That's not what I said. I said to you...
You can't love somebody if you're
sexing somebody else. Yeah?
So then that's
the way that... That's what I said to you to expand, because what you're saying to me is if you're sexing somebody, does that mean that you love them? That's the way I'm taking it. So that's what I'm asking you to expand. I'm not saying that if you sex somebody, you're loving them. But I'm saying if you are in love deeply with somebody, you would go out of your way to do the best to not hurt them.
And that's what I'm saying.
And if you know that you're going to be constantly cheating on that person, is going to hurt them constantly.
You just make sure they don't find out.
What do you mean? No, come on.
That is the solution to what you just said.
If you're talking about not hurting them, that is a way of not hurting them.
That's a viable solution to what you just said.
You man them logic, you know. Just make sure the bitch don't find out. Just man them logic.
But then where does your moral conscience come into play? Because you know you're hurting that person.
And you know what you're doing
Hang
is wrong.
on. You don't know you're hurting that person. You know you're potentially hurting that person.
Oh my God.
Because it hasn't happened yet. You're basically, this is Minority Report.
No, if you are cheating, if you are a serial repeat cheater,
I understand all of those words in combination.
You are
yes,
clearly doing it on a weekly basis,
and then
you know if your missus finds out,
correct,
it's going to hurt her.
If
so
statements,
you're hiding the fact that you're cheating, so you don't hurt your missus.
Yeah,
so you know you're hurting her.
If
international finance,
yes. But you're still hurting her. You know you're gonna. You know
interrupted
it's
financially.
You know if she finds out, you're gonna hurt, but you're gonna hide it anyway.
Impossible Francesco.
But it's
Impossible Francesco.
Important Franco.
Franco chicken. No,
International Franco.
I just
help me out here,
I just
please.
think, for me personally, if you know that you're cheating one time,
being weak,
I think you've made a mistake, right? Mm-hmm. Cheating repeatedly on a weekly basis,
you're going out of your way.
That's like picking up your gyro and pussy at the same time, right? Man picks up his gyro and get puss at the same time, weekly, no long thing.
Listen, what you're saying is that the love thing, I just, you can love somebody and cheat on them regularly every week, if so be it. I don't see that the two go hand in hand. What you have to look at it is that for you it's a disrespect, and for you can say you can't love the person if you're doing it, and that's fair enough. That's all good. But what Stavros is saying is that
no, I said you can love them. I said you are not deeply in love with that person.
No, did you not? When we fleshed it out, you said no, it's not love. Then
it's a moral compass.
That's what you said.
No, I said
choose now.
I said I actually used the words you're not deeply in love with that person. I said you love them in a way that you would love your friend. And
we're talking about in love. We're not talking about that.
Choose so you don't have to forever hold your.
But that is, I'm just telling you what I actually said.
Okay, well, you're not in love with that person then.
Yeah, you're not in the deep love now.
Okay, well that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the more love. That's what I'm talking about.
What's that?
That's the love that you have for a partner. Yeah, Eros.
Carry on.
I'm giving you face. I don't know.
Well, because there's different kinds of love.
I know, but I'm just like I don't know, man.
You're talking about the love that you might have for a friend, and I'm saying I'm not talking about that love. I'm talking about the love that you have for a partner.
When
and
the
you can
moon hits your eye like a bigger pizza pie, that's amore.
That's the type of love you can have for somebody and still be cheating on them regularly. And I'm saying this because they don't go hand in hand. One is not linked to the other. If the type of person you're dealing with doesn't see the cheating thing as an issue, because some men don't, they see it as an issue if it happens to them, but they don't see it as an issue if they're doing it to the person, then they don't see that they just don't see it as an issue. It's just, I know it's going to hurt them if they find out. I know they don't like it, and I'm never going to let them find out, but they're not going to find out, and that's the end of it. I still love my partner. I want to be with her forever, but I'm cheating.
I know somebody who, oh God, whenever I think about this guy, I got to giggle a little bit. He's actually living two lives. He's living two lives.
You mean he's Bruce Wayne and Batman?
So he's deeply in love with one of his women, and he's deeply in love with the other. And,
oh God!
And it's weird because he's having separate lives here, and I don't know how he juggles the two. He's got a family with the one, not with the other, but obviously the second woman is pushing and pressurizing him to have a child. And
does he live with any of them?
He lives with one of them.
Wow.
Yeah, and
one or two?
One.
Does two know about one?
Neither know about each other.
Okay, continue.
You know, and I know as a matter of fact that this guy is deeply in love with both women. I've seen it. I see it in his eyes when he talks about them, and the fact that he can't leave one for the other. He is in a situation that he says, I don't wish anybody to be in my situation, but
It just needs to combine the mortgage, man. It can be all right. Just consolidate the mortgage to one payment.
Who washes his pants?
boy,
Because that's the one, really, isn't
both
it?
of them do.
Both of them wash his
He's
pants.
living two lives in two houses.
All right, you know what? Again, I think that guy, the first woman that he was with, how long has he been with that woman?
I don't know, maybe about 15 years or something.
I think he has a fear of what would happen if he leaves that woman. I think that's actually what he has, not this deep love. I think he respects her because of respects the fact that she's his mother's child. That's the mother, I'm assuming, yeah, the mother of his children, and he respects the fact that she's been there for the 15 years. But I think the reason why he's still there is because he's scared of leaving that woman.
Nah.
Hang on. Can you extend your arm, please? I want to see how far you reach. Because what you just said just now was a reach, bro.
Why?
Because you know what? There's just lily pads all over the place, and you're jumping from one to the other. And the lily pads have conclusions on them. Why?
Now, I think a lot of the time when people don't break up with people that's been there for a long periods of years, it's because of fear. They do not. If you've been with somebody for 15 years, how old is the person?
I think he's 40 or 41.
Okay, so 15 years. How long would you have been when you got with her? 25?
Yeah, around about.
Right, so that's a long chunk of your life that you've known this person, been around this person. This person has been intricate in your life. What happens when you decide that this person is no longer going to be there?
Well,
Sorry, it's a big fear.
But I can tell you this, just from my knowledge. Obviously, I'm not there on the inside and sitting on the couch whilst they're having their family time or what have you. But from the outside looking in, this guy is deeply in love with both women, bruv.
Can you give me an example as to why you know that?
I've given you the example.
No.
Through his eyes.
No.
Just his mannerisms, and I can tell. Well, you can tell when a man is
Does
just...
he go raw with both?
What? When you say raw, what are you talking about? Without the coat.
Sushi.
You got that?
I'm talking about them going
Without the coat.
Yeah. I'm talking about ice cold weather.
One, definitely, because he's got children, innit?
The other one... Listen, if you're with somebody... The second one, if they've been doing stuff for X amount of time...
I can't say that I've gone that deep and asked him, do you bareback?
That's the first question I would ask a man,
one,
you know? Are you barebacking both chicks, bruv?
You know? But no.
That's wrong.
You can tell when a friend is in love, man. This guy loves both women.
So, Wahala, you saying it's not feasible or possible to be in love with two women at the same time?
I don't know. But I think a lot of the time when it becomes an issue where you've been with a partner for a long time, it goes from being love to being fear. Fear of the unknown. And
Stavros will agree with you highly. Once you're with somebody for a certain amount of time, you wonder what's it going to be like without this person. So that makes sense, and that's fine. But you can't just assume that this is the reason that he's not left. But let's move on. That was interesting, though.
Indeed.
So let's stick with the theme of cheating. And
so we're not moving on.
We're not moving on that much.
The question is it considered cheating?
You can't even look after Harlem
On your partner, male or female, if you get somebody else to do something for you that your partner is happy and willing to do, and you keep that from them,
Why are you keeping it from them?
If you're keeping something from your partner, it's some form of cheating.
It's wrong.
What?
I don't know about if it's cheating, but it's definitely wrong.
Okay.
Unless you're doing it for their benefit. If you're keeping something from them, a surprise party.
Well,
no, that's wrong as well.
I didn't say it's not wrong, but it's not cheating. But if you're keeping something from them because you know they're not gonna like what you did, then that is some form of cheating.
So let's throw cooking,
because you're lying, isn't it?
No, but does lying automatically mean that you're cheating that person?
Yeah,
it's a deception.
You're cheating them of the truth. That's why I said it's some form of cheating. You're cheating. That's why I tell my wife, can't keep nothing from me. And people think is that's like a madness. I say, you cannot keep anything from me. The minute something goes in your mind that
I said anything,
It became such a
anything,
I call it Hennessy.
anything.
Wallahi, anything.
The thought shouldn't cross your. The thought can cross your mind. I'm gonna keep this from my husband, but then you better kick that thought down the stairs immediately because you can't stick with it. It must be that there's two options you have. One is that if that thought comes in my mind, I just have to dismiss it and tell them and deal with their consequences because obviously there's a consequence. That's why you don't want to say it. Or two, you don't follow through on whatever it was that you feel I'm gonna have to keep this from my partner. Just don't follow through and don't do it because clearly there's an issue with doing it in the first place.
Mr. Wolf came out with something, but I want to come up with something different. Can I touch on it a bit differently?
Can we finish the thing first?
No, I'm going to talk about the same question, but he came up with a thing.
No.
He threw in cooking, but I want to ask you a question regarding this thing. Let's say we all other houses and there is a cupboard that's broken in the house. Yeah?
These curveball questions, boy.
No, it's the same question. All right. The cupboard's been broken for 6 months.
Did you break it?
No.
Okay.
Yes. Well, the cupboard's been broken. Yeah? The cupboard's broken. And then one day you come in the house. You come in, you see your missus. You slap her bum, as you do. Squeeze a nipple. All right, you're in love. And then
Squeeze her breast and like the jigger.
why
Sorry,
not?
go on.
Why not? And then you see that the cupboard's fixed. And you say to her, babes, come to the cupboard.
I got Tyrone to do it for me.
No. And she says to you, oh, I'll fix the cupboard. And you go, you fixed it. And she goes, yeah. And then 2 months down the line, you see her friend Justin. Let's call him Justin.
Not Tyrone.
It should be Tyrone.
Okay, Tyrone. I don't know what has to be the Tyrone.
Call Tyrone.
Because Tyrone is doing a thing with Felicia.
And you see him, and he says to you, how's the cupboard going? And you're like, what? Yeah, I came to your house 2 months ago and fixed the cupboard for you. Didn't your missus tell you?
You realise it's not the same question, isn't it?
And that's
It is because he said that.
One is that they're hiding it from you, and two is that they lied to you.
Yeah, but they have lied to you.
Hiding, yeah.
No, you said you said that what was the thing that you said?
This is why you should answer the original question
Yes.
before you
But I
start
am
throwing
asking the original
curveballs.
question.
No, you're throwing a curveball first.
It's a curveball.
In what capacity?
But I think
I just done told you the difference.
No, I'm asking
curved.
Mr. Wolf. What did you say?
at the end of the question, I said, and they keep it from you. And I think that's where you're going
Exactly.
with this.
There's a difference between keeping something from somebody. Yeah.
You're the one that was talking about cheating a minute ago.
Yes, but there is a difference between keeping something from somebody and outright blatant lying to their face. Yes.
No.
So, so you're saying it's the same if you go. All right, and you.
To Franco.
All right, you and your wife have decided we're gonna go vegetarian, and then you go out and you cheat and eat some sort of meat.
Yes.
Yeah, and you don't tell them.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Why would
yeah?
do it?
All right.
Why would do it?
But you could say that's that. Well, I lied to her, 6 months ago when we decided we're gonna go vegetarian. But you hide it from her that you've eaten some meat or whatever. That's hiding something. The difference is when another example where you're lying to somebody is saying I'm not gonna eat any meat today after you just had meat. You just lied to your partner's face.
Okay, so you're saying.
No, you didn't.
All right.
You said I'm not going to eat any meat today. You've already eaten it.
Yes. Today is a full 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you've already eaten it.
Yeah, that means you haven't eaten that meat today. Then,
No,
haven't
you said I'm not going to. Going to is an action going forward.
in present, future tense.
So if you said I'm going to eat meat,
No.
I'm not going to eat meat today. Of course you're not going to. I just ate it.
It's still a deception. Though.
Okay. Fine.
I'm glad that he did that to you because this is basically what the same thing you people are doing to me right now.
Web slinger.
No, it's a completely different thing. But I get you. Fine.
Okay, do you answer your normal question, but then I want you to answer mine again after.
Why don't you answer the other question as well?
Okay, so what is the question?
Oh my god!
Are you asking me if it's wrong?
Even I can't remember the question.
Are you asking me if it's wrong, Mr. Wolf?
Is it wrong to get somebody else to do something that your partner is happy to do?
Basically.
No, I don't understand why it's wrong. Okay, it's partially wrong. if that, it's only wrong. It's only wrong if the partner, if you know the partner.
I hate you tonight.
No, it's only wrong.
I'm having too much
It's only
fun.
wrong if the partner themselves would be upset that you're getting somebody else to do it, and you know that. If you don't think they're gonna be upset about it, then I don't see the issue with it.
Your answer just confused me.
Why does it confuse you?
Bruh.
This is what the question is, yeah? You're saying, is it wrong to get somebody to do a job that your partner was happy to do for you, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm saying, if it's not going to bother the partner, choose to get somebody else to do it, there's nothing wrong with that. If you know it's going to bother the person that you got somebody else to do it, then there's something wrong with that.
We're talking about someone from the opposite sex as well. And I think it's almost...
I don't think it makes a difference.
Well, but that's the point, isn't it? So my thing is that your missus now is getting another guy maybe to come and fix the cupboard that you broke. Do you understand? And this guy comes to fix the cupboard when you could have done it, and you even said that you was going to do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's where the question is.
Yeah, again, if I said I was going to do something, and is this what I'm saying? If I said I was going to do it,
and you're happy to do it.
No, if I said I was going, I might not even have to be happy. But if I said I'm going to do something,
I like my DIY,
and then she went to go and get somebody else to do it without consulting with me, I'll be annoyed. I'll be angry. The only time that I will maybe hold my mouth a little bit if it's something that's hers. Does that make sense?
Okay.
If I broke her thing, and I'm not fixing it in a good enough time, and she gets somebody to fix her stuff, then I can't really. You know what I mean? I'll be vexed.
No, Stavros. There's no hers.
Do you mean like a gynecologist?
There's no hers.
Hang on 1 second. There was a time component to this question, wasn't there? You said that there was a certain amount of time that elapsed after you said that you would do it, and then the other person.
There was no time.
Oh, it was you that said the time. See, confused up the
Mr.
thing.
Curveball.
The reason why I asked that question is because I think time has a lot to do with when it becomes a problem and not.
Nah.
So, for example, if your woman says to you on Monday, yeah, we need to have this, well, you said cupboard, we need to have X, Y, Z done. And you say, yeah, okay, I'll do it. And she says, oh, yeah, if you can do it by Wednesday, it'd be great. If we get to Tuesday night and it hasn't been done, oh man, I messed this one up. If we get to Tuesday night and it hasn't been done, and then Wednesday comes and she's asked somebody else to do it, I don't know if you can be mad because she gave you the timeline. She told you the deadline.
No, she can get kicked down the stairs. That's what she can get. You told you never listen. I've told my wife this, yeah, because our shower's broken and it's been broken for about 6 months.
No one can even bath in the house.
And fortunately, we got a bath shower as well, so we got shower and bath shower. So we're using the other, but nobody is allowed to touch that thing once I've said I'm going to deal with it. If she ever got somebody to come and fix that. Because granted, she can complain and she can say you're taking too long. You said you were going to do this, and we've been without a shower for a whole half a year or however long it's been. Yeah, I cannot argue with you. I understand you're well within your rights to be vexed with me, but
it's abuse.
But if you get somebody, if you get somebody else where it could even be a woman, so it doesn't even have to be an opposite sex. You have offended the temple of me. And I'm going to kick you down the stairs.
Hang on. If she then fixes it herself, is that still the problem? She gets so fed up of waiting for you to do it that she just goes along and does it herself.
Maybe to start, but not to me.
Yeah, but less of an issue. To be honest, because you're giving me that example, and I can't. I'm flipping it to a real example, which is the bin. I feel the bin is to take it out is a man's job.
Don't say that on the podcast.
It's a man's job to take
Delete it off the podcast. Me and this woman have this argument every week.
Let's stop shouting.
I hate it.
It's a man's job to take out the bin.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I just want to know why. What's the pathology behind that?
I don't know, man.
It's stinky. That's why.
It's an unwritten rule.
It's dirty, so the man has to do dirty jobs.
I want to hear what Webbs has got to say. Go on, Webbs. On the original question, not the curveball one.
I don't even know what the original question is anymore because of Wahala's.
No, come on. You said it several times. Don't blame me.
It is you. Sorry, bro.
Do you want me to repeat the question?
No, because I did have a problem with the question, but now I kind of understand it.
Okay.
But can I ask the question again?
Are you going to throw a curveball as well?
No, I'm not going to throw a curveball. I just wanted to clarify something.
Go ahead.
Because you said, is it all right or is it deemed cheating if you get someone else to do something your partner is willing to do?
Yes.
I didn't get that originally. I just thought it sounds better if, is it deemed cheating if you get someone else to do something your partner wouldn't do?
Okay, you flipped the question in your
I
head.
flipped the question in my head, but it's cool. So, to your original question, it's not really a big deal.
Okay, the reason why earlier I just kind of threw cooking in there because I had someone at work who we won't name names for obvious reasons. Oh. But anyway, he had somebody. Well, we had a female at work cook for us, and this was some time ago. It was a long time ago. Long time ago. So this lady came and brought this guy some food, and he openly said that if my missus knew that this woman had taken her time out to cook me food, that she would be vexed.
Is it just him or all of you?
She brought the food in for him, and there was enough for me.
But would it be any different if your sister had brought you in food?
Of course it will be a difference, because we're talking about, I mean, there's sibling love, and then there's a woman who may take the fancy of your man. And food is a
yeah, but
big
that
deal.
hasn't been stated though.
It hasn't, but from where I was looking, she was being a bit flirtatious with the gentleman, and she brought in some food. She always brings in food for herself, or she did when we were at that group. And she, the guy said, "Why don't you bring me some?" And she says, "No problem."
That sounds greasy. That sounds greasy.
So she brought him food, and if his missus found out, he said that she would be upset. Do you think that him constantly accepting that food is a form of cheating?
So it was more than once?
More than once, yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't think that's cheating. I wouldn't look at it as cheating.
I wouldn't call it cheating, but I would say because he knows that his wife would have a problem with it, it's a little bit shagged.
It's wrong, man.
It's a little bit shagged. That is it.
Is it a wrong one?
But the question I want to ask
Is it wrong?
and maybe I need to ask a woman at some point. What is it with women and food? Like, why is it such a women?
Because they see it as their job.
And hair, it just seem to be the beef subjects you cannot get into with a woman. What is it about food?
Let me explain something to you. You don't have to ask a woman. Ask Wala. Right?
As he says with his...
Let's go to the Ask Wahala corner.
Nah, man, because food's an important thing. Like, there's certain things you need in life to live, and one of the most important ones is food.
And head.
Yes. But food is the most important thing for you to have, right? So the supplier of food is an important person, is it not?
Yes.
Not necessarily.
It is.
No.
It is. The supplier of food is an important person.
So-
Or constant food, not just the one-off that you get every so. I'm talking about constant supplier of food is an important person.
There are some people that don't cook at all. They just eat out all the time.
Yeah, and that person is important to them.
But in our culture, we don't do that often. We have home food. We have
No, but I'm talking about the beef thing. Like, for example, if a woman cooks for you and she does it as a surprise, even if you're really grateful, but you've already eaten, so you really cannot eat what she's given you, and you're prepared to eat it tomorrow or what have you, she's vexed
because she's taken the time out to prepare something for you.
If she asks you if you want something to eat and you say no, thank you, she's vexed.
Yeah. So
she hasn't cooked it yet.
Yeah, but she wants you to eat from her hand.
And I'm trying to find out why is it so important.
It's so they can eat half of your food from your plate.
So I've cooked you this food and I'm going to eat half of it anyway.
I'm going to ask this question on social media.
I think we need to get next time we have a woman on the podcast, we ask her that question.
I'm going to bang it out on Twitter. And
I want to ask Stav a question from his shower incident. Yeah, if you try to fix the shower,
yes,
and then come to the conclusion that you're not good enough to fix that shower.
Shame.
And then you go and get somebody else.
Bitch.
And then you go and get somebody else, yeah?
Yeah.
To fix that shower. after the 6-7 months that you've taken, almost a pregnancy,
Yes.
right? Does she have the right to be upset with you?
Yes.
Because you went and got an external somebody
She
to
can
go
be,
and get.
she can be upset I took so long.
But she can't be upset that you did the thing that you said that she can't do. Even though she was right to go and get somebody, she would have been right to go and get somebody else to do it.
She would not have been right.
What?
If
But you can't fix it.
that's not the reason. No. It's not about whether you can or can't do
So
something.
this is a pure ego thing.
Life is ego, fam.
So if she asked you, does she have to ask your permission now?
I'm gonna get out the t-shirt.
That is a t-shirt. I was about to say that
That's
is a t-shirt.
for real.
Life is ego, fam.
If you'd have seen the light bulb that just came up and Simple Simon said, it was like, oh my God, yes.
You know what's the intro already now, innit? But anyway, so you're just saying that even if she asks you will tell her no. Because
Listen. Let me break it down. If a man asks his woman not to interfere with the man, I'm putting in hyphens, with the man's job, and she gets another man to do it, it's wrong. Or she gets somebody else to do it, it's wrong. Same thing, vice versa. If the woman asks the man not to interfere with her womanly duties because she's got it in hand, and he goes and gets someone else to do it, especially if it's another woman, it's wrong. People have, we've said it before, I'll say it again. People have roles and positions in their relationships. And the minute you start intruding and overlapping on those roles and situations and concerns in relationships, that's where the problems start. Allow the woman to do what she needs to do or wants to do, and allow the man to do what he should do and what he wants to do. If he's taking too long, nag him, moan him, be upset with him, that's fine, and vice versa. But you don't step on his shoes, and man, you don't step on her shoes, because that's where the problems start. So she can tell me, I'm going to cook you a certain food. So my wife's Ghanaian, I might say I want a Nigerian dish, and she's like, I'm going to cook it for you. And she's taking too long. I don't then go and get another woman to cook me. Get me another. I don't then get a Nigerian woman to go and cook me the dish. That's a disrespect. And it's the same if I'm saying
that's common sense.
It's the same if I'm saying I'm gonna fix a shower, and then she gets another man to fix it. She goes and gets even if it's the neighbor that's just a friend.
Dylan.
It's the same disrespect.
Dylan.
You understand the food one, don't
It's
you?
hot fire, man.
What with
You understand the food example I just gave.
Yeah, kind of.
So
but
then it's the same.
But if it's 6 months after, if it's 6 months and I still ain't had that food, I'll go to a Nigerian restaurant and I'll eat that food.
No. Nobody said a restaurant. Another person.
I'll go to my mum's and eat that food.
Can I interject very quickly?
Mums
Stav?
don't count.
I'll go to my sister and eat that food.
Family doesn't count, fam.
I'll go to
Why
one
does
of my
family
cousins.
not count? Why does family not count?
I'll go to a Nigerian friend. Okay, then
Because his sister and his mum were cooking for him before she ever got there.
Yes.
Okay, so let's say I'll go
So
to
if
my...
your dad came to fix the shower, is that still wrong?
That's a good question.
Ooh, so
No.
if she called your dad,
Why is it?
If she called my dad,
yeah,
it doesn't. Yeah, if she called my dad, it's wrong.
It's a beef thing.
Yeah.
You should have seen his face. That looked like a beef thing. Face.
No,
You
if-
trust
At the
him?
beginning, he was like, no.
No, for my dad to fix it is not the issue. For her to go behind my back and call my dad is the issue.
okay.
The fact
dad comes to the
fact I have to
apartment.
include behind my back, it lets you
Fair
know it's
enough.
the issue.
So dad comes to the apartment at some stage, and this topic comes up. Oh my God, the shower's not working. No, my husband won't.
Yeah,
You won't do
yeah.
it. And then,
What she said that?
Yeah, it's just a conversation that
Okay,
comes
okay.
up, and your
All
dad
right.
just happens to be there. One day, your dad just turns up and fix it, and then you come home, and then you see that it's fixed. Then what?
What can I do? Innit?
Would you have a beef with your dad? Yeah, after you said to your dad that you was gonna fix it.
I would tell my dad that let me
touch my
fix.
shower.
Yeah, let me fix my things in my house.
Wow.
If I've told my wife I'm gonna do it, then let me do it. Not in a beef thing, but
Yeah, but that should be a beef thing.
I
though.
think
That would be a
Exactly.
beef thing.
no,
Standard.
my dad would understand after I've explained that to him that okay,
He should keep-
for whatever reason my son feels the
Future
ways about
reference.
this. Yeah,
Okay.
and I think my dad would respect me enough to say
I
I
don't.
wouldn't.
Yeah, but the topic
You
would
get spat to the face, man.
No, but the thing is, the topic would arise. Why has Stavros taken so long to fix it? It's
Spanner to the
7
face.
months.
Spanner to the face straight away, man.
all right. Well,
Spanner to the face.
Idiots.
You know?
Right, tell him.
Would you feel away for the fact that your dad has come and done it? Would it make you realize that you really did procrastinate and you're a long thing?
I've just answered. No, I know I'm a long thing from beforehand. That nobody needs to tell me that. I know I'm long.
Please know that this is not a scenario that could not happen. My dad could easily come and do this. Think about it. Just turn up with his tools one day.
And spanner him.
All right. End of. Ladies and gents, it is nice to have you, and it was nice to have you. And it will be nice to have you next week. Before that, us guys are going to say our goodbyes and church notes. So go around. Whoever wants to speak first, speak on it.
Yo, catch me on Twitter at Big Wahala. Catch me on Insta at Big Wahala. See you next week.
Who's next?
Simple Simon, Twitter, Simple Simon FB. That is where I reside. That is where I'm living. Yes.
It's your podcaster's favourite podcast, ESN. I'm just saying. There's two of us that need to say a few things. So, Webs, what are you going to say? So, yeah, Twitter, yeah. Web Slinger, DJ. That's me. What's my boy saying? Yeah, Samuel the actor. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the actor, innit? Push.
I'm scared, you know.
The man is talking to himself and turning his head like he's talking to the invisible person next to him.
No,
that's the actor,
he needs
innit?
deliverance. He needs deliverance.
No, it's dissociative identity disorder.
Who did we say got that?
Huh?
Who did we say has that?
What, dissociative identity disorder? I think transgender people have it.
That's it. We were
And
speaking. We were speaking before the podcast, and that's what came up. Anyway, this is Mr. Wolf. It's Yemi Online on Twitter and Yemi's Insta.
Oh my God, you remembered it?
Because he just looked at his phone.
yeah, that's exactly what he did. The old bastard.
And Facebook. Catch me.
Alzheimer's is a terrible thing.
You bastard.
What did you say about Facebook?
Oh, you can catch me on Facebook.
All right. If you want to get in contact with ESN Podcast, then find us at ESN Podcast everywhere except for Facebook, which is facebook.com/ESN Podcasts with an S. You can also email us any questions you may have to esnpodcast@gmail.com. All right. I'm Stavros Boss. You catch me everywhere. And we are out.
They just want to ride the phenomenon. Drive all the man down crazy.
Remember, people, if you ain't saying nothing, say it well.
Peace.
Okay, so going back to that question that we were talking about beforehand. Oh yeah, man. Messing the edit, man. Talk. All right, so that thing that we were talking about before, yeah. Can you imagine if a man decided that they were going to take another woman's breast milk and feed their child with it?
Right? Yeah.
With some random,
But that happens, you know.
No, but I was saying he took another woman's breast milk.
Yeah, took it from where?
From the stout. And
What,
just
did
to
he bottle
spite
it?
his woman, yeah.
Or did he suck it
Right
out
from
of
the
the woman's breast?
There are milk banks you can get